And
Hello.
like with everyone at the same time. I don't know. I never had interviews. Hello, Celeste. Nice to see you. I never had any live sessions with 4 people, so I hope it will work. Just a second. One more go. Yeah, hope it should be fine. Yeah. Can you see me and hear me well? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Great. Everyone is there. Hello, Brandy. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Can you hear and see me well? Everything is fine? Oh, something happened. I hope it would be fine because Instagram sometimes it surprised me. Just a second. Let me try again. Oh, yes. Yes. Where did you go?
I don't know, suddenly it cut.
Or you got scared of our conversation? Hello, girls.
Hello.
I'm very happy to see you today, and I'm hosting 3 girls today. So it's my first conversation like that, I would say. And all of them are married to Indian men, and they live in different parts of India. So I'm very curious to listen to your stories about your life in this country because I'm also married to an Indian, but I never got a chance to live in India. So it's totally different feeling when you live there or when you just visit sometimes. So, and first of all, I would like to ask you to introduce a little bit yourself. Where are you from? Which part of India do you live and for how long? And who would like to start?
I can start. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I could hear you.
My name is Celeste, and I'm from America, United States. And I live right now, currently I'm in Lucknow for the month, but we live about 2 or 3 hours east of here in a village area, pretty rural.
Yeah. I'm very curious to listen to you, really. Because I know that even Indian people, many of them could never agree to live in an Indian village because they prefer to live in a bigger cities. So it's really interesting to know how do you feel there. And what about you girls? Where are you from and where do you live?
Okay. I will continue. So yeah. So my name is Audrey, and I'm from France, and I live in Hyderabad.
And for how long? Can you please mention?
Sorry?
For how long do you live in India?
Yeah. It will be next year. Will be 10 years.
10 years. And you, Celeste? How long do you live in India?
I first came in 2013. So how many years is that now? I don't know. 8, 9, something.
Yeah, 9 years. Wow, long time. And you, Brandy?
Yeah. So that's the same as me.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm Brandy. I too am married to an Indian man. I live in Bhubaneswar, Orissa. I actually started out living in India in Bangalore with my husband, and then we shifted to his home city. And we've been here I've been here off and on for 3 years. I do go visit the US for a month at a time to get my fix on American food, and then I come back. And then, sometimes we go to his village, which is like out in the middle of nowhere. It's always fun to visit, but never to stay too long because no power often. But
Yeah, that's great. And as you could see, I named our conversation Pros and Cons of Life in India. So we are going to talk about that, and I would like to ask you, what do you see as pros and cons of life in this country? Especially for you, because you are living in different places, and as you know, it's like, I would say each state of India is like something like a separate country. It's very different lifestyle, everything is different. So I would like to listen to you. So I don't know who would like to start. Who is first? Who is the most brave?
Well, how do you want us to start? You want to just like read down a list or bring up one topic and see what other people feel about that? Or...
I think that that would be a good idea to share first where you live, I think, and how is your lifestyle for you in the village, and we can do that, and then after we can share the pros and cons. I think.
Yeah, and also I would like to ask you, which challenges do you face in your daily life in India? Maybe you miss something from your original country. Is there something like that? I'm sure there is something.
Definitely. I think the biggest thing for me, especially since having kids, is missing my family, my parents and my brothers, and seeing my kids grow up, wishing that they knew their extended family better in the States, getting to play with their cousins and everything. That's hard to see, being so far and not getting to travel often. But as far as just living in the village, one of the biggest struggles, besides being far away from family, is that I don't get out much. There's not public transportation in my little village, and there's not a lot to do. I think that in my village, there's probably less than 200 people. And there's one little store, and a couple of times a week, there's like little random sabji market with like 4 or 5 little vendors. So I just am home most of the time. Sometimes a month will go by before I sit in the car again. So, you know, I keep busy, but it can, you know, it's nice when we get a chance to come to the city.
But which biggest city is nearby?
Lucknow, in the capital of Uttar Pradesh. We're at Lucknow, and we're actually here for the whole month right now. So it's been quite fun to get out and see a lot of things this month.
And I would like to ask you one question, because you mentioned that you live in a very small village. Did you find some friends? What about communication? Because I know it's difficult to live only just, okay, or maybe you mainly stay at home. Did you find some friends there? Because there are no other foreigners. It's much easier in a bigger city where you can find other expats and you can get to know each other, meet sometime.
Yeah. Well, one good thing about India is that people tend to be very friendly and tend to come and visit and go and, you know, come and go all the time. So I feel like I know a lot of the people in the village. I wouldn't say that I have any real close friend per se, but I have a lot of acquaintances that I feel I can chat with and ask them for, you know, something if I needed it from them. You know, if I ran out of something I could borrow, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I have community, but I don't have close friends. It's especially hard, I think, being in my age group, where most of the women my age and who have just started families, if they're living in the village, their daughters-in-law who have moved there, and the village culture kind of doesn't look friendly on them going out and visiting a lot. They want them to stay in their own homes. And if they're my age and they're born in that village, they've gotten married and moved away. So it's hard to meet other women in my stage of life to be friends with. But there are some girls that, you know, that have moved away, that when they come back to visit with their families, then I get to see them and chat with them because they come over. And I live next door to my husband's grandfather and aunt and some relatives. So there's built-in community there, having a relative next door too.
Yeah, that's right. And I just see one question. I think I will ask you this question immediately, and of course other girls as well. Was it easy for you to learn their language as a foreigner? Do you speak Hindi or? Yes,
Yeah, I do speak Hindi, and in the village, people speak Audi, which is, it's very similar to Hindi. I can understand it, but I can't really speak it. So I speak Hindi to everybody, and they speak back the village dialect language to me, and I understand them. So that works. I enjoy languages. In my university time, I did an emphasis in linguistics, and so it wasn't. I'm still learning. I would not call myself, you know, perfect in Hindi, but it was fun. It is fun to learn, and I feel like I know quite a bit. So
it must be difficult for you to learn this language, because I know for some girls it's very difficult, but maybe for you it was easier to learn.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it was, it's taken time.
Can you read as well?
I can, but probably at the level of about a second grader.
Yeah, so would you like to tell us more? What do you see as pros and cons of life in India since we started?
Sure. Yeah. Living in the village, we have our own farmland, and so we get to have our rice and our wheat and our oil and dal, like all from our own fields. So that's a pro of being in the village and having farmland. That's kind of fun, and it's nice to have open air and area for my kids to play in outside. I never have to worry about them running in the street because there really isn't one.
Yeah.
And they can go outside and run over to the relative's house, and I don't have to worry. There's people, just so that's what's nice about the village is just that it feels so much less worrisome as far as just letting kids be who they are and let them be outside and playing and having the freedom to do that.
And do you face any challenges in your daily life?
Me?
Yes.
More challenges in my daily life. We have a lot of electricity cuts. Every day, electricity goes out multiple times a day. And while we've been here in Lucknow this month, we've heard that in the village right now this month, we've only been getting about 3 or 4 hours of electricity a day. So even though we have an inverter battery and we have solar panels, the inverter has been running out of, it hasn't been able to keep its charge. So it's that can be a big challenge in hot weather and no fans.
Yeah, I could imagine. And somehow there are power cuts. They happen mainly in summer when it's the hottest weather. I would say I was really surprised why, but it is the case. So I was suffering myself, and it's very humid in summer, so it's difficult. Yes.
But it's mango season, so that makes up for something.
Yeah, and how old are your children? Do they go to school?
Not yet. One is 3.5, and one is a little over 1.5. So they're 2 years apart, 1.5 and 3.5.
Yeah, that's still little. I thought maybe if they go to school, I can ask you. Because
I sent them with the husband. He took them off in the car right now, so they don't disturb me.
yeah, I can imagine. I had many interviews with kids as well. They were running around, so I'm very used to it. It depends on the girl how she feels, if she's comfortable to talk or not. Would you like to add something else, or we will just...
You can pass it to the other girls for a little bit.
Yes, okay. So, who's next? Brandy? Audrey?
Yeah, I can talk. All right. It will be very different as a village. I am in a big city, Hyderabad, so obviously it's not the same at all. I can find pretty much everything anyhow. In every big cities, it's like this. I can do anything here, it's not like in a village I would be able to find, easily supermarkets. I can go to theater, I can go to the shopping malls easily. It's near. So this being close to any infrastructure is really nice, I should say. And the pros is, I think that overall, I think that the people are very kind. I don't know, in the village, I think that it's bringing you closer to the people in the village more than in the big city, obviously. But I think, me personally, I don't have any problem to speak with people and for the language. In the village, I think that they will be less talking English, I guess so. That will be more a problem of a language for you. But in Hyderabad, yeah, I don't have any problem with the language. I'm pretty much independent, so I just take the scooty and I go wherever I want. The first years, obviously, I was in need to ask and to have some help, but after almost 10 years, it's like, a habit. You used to things, and that's nothing is new anymore. So yeah, the pros. I will just check what I wrote. Yeah, so overall, if I talk about India, because in Hyderabad, it's like in every big cities, you will find almost the same, except that you will find like the biryani, like some typical food and so on. All right. Me, what I wrote is that overall is the kindness of people. You will find obviously many different cultures, traditions, and customs. All right. I found through all this almost 10 years that in India you never feel really bored. You always have something to do, something to see. Yeah. Okay, from a point of view of a foreigner, when you move from the West to India, obviously the lifestyle is it's more smooth, according if you have a good financial support, I mean to say. And again, from a perspective of a foreigner, it's a local standard. If you are obviously working internationally and you are not having a salary of an Indian, obviously, then that's not the same. Yeah, as I mentioned, diversity of food for the prawns. I will say that I was always amazed, by the architectures when I was traveling. Talking about Hyderabad, I know that the food is always available 24 hours by 7. I don't know if it's the case where you are, but that's a huge difference with France, at least. So I was living in Lucknow, as you may know. I know that after a certain time, you are not able to order. So I know that it's different in Hyderabad. You can find, you want to order something at 1 in the morning, you will always find something. That's
Wow.
crazy, but yeah. In the prawns, yeah. So I think that it's also, India is also a land of opportunities. Everything is possible. Yeah, no, but this is true. You can, whenever you want to create or you want to start a business, it's not the same. I mean to say, I don't say that it's easy, but that's more easy than in France, actually. I don't know in America how it is, but even for the administrations here in India, it's it's quite easy. You want to start a business, you just want to start a business, you start. That's all.
So it's much cheaper, I think. Yeah.
Sorry?
It's also much cheaper probably to start your own business in India than somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I write? Talking about the weather in the pros, I would say that the winter, that's my favorite season in India.
I think for everyone probably.
Yeah. The winter, and especially myself, I like the rain, so I like the monsoon. But I wrote endless travel because India is so big that you can travel. I think it would take one life to discover all sides of India, pretty much. What else? I think that overall, living in India, it's like teaching you patience, because I think that living in India is testing your limits and adaptation in every way possible. And I think that after this, you can live just about anywhere in the world. I don't know. I think that girls, you will be agree with me on this side. What else? Yeah, on the pros, I find it really nice. About the clothes, the traditional clothes, jewelries, and so on. Also, for me, that's the pros. The festival, so many festivals along the year.
Mm-hmm. And
so
festival,
holidays,
yeah.
So festival equals to holidays. Yeah, so personally, I don't have any maid or domestic help, but overall, I would say that in the pros, that's a plus point, that the domestic help here is very affordable.
Yeah.
I know that in France, if I wanted to have a personal
Yeah,
maid, I think I will ruin myself.
that's true.
Uh, yeah. So that's the pros, and I will say later the cons. I will let talk the others. Talking too much. You can share
It's
also
okay.
your.
It's very interesting to listen to you. Yeah. And I want to ask you, Celeste, because you're living in a small village, how do you deal with a lot of attention? I would imagine that a lot of people probably are staring at you all the time. Maybe now they're used to you because even in big cities,
Actually, yeah,
it's like that.
I've been in that village now for about 5.5 years, 6 in December, and so pretty much everybody in my village recognizes me and knows me now. So I guess I'm not that special there anymore. But anytime I get out and go in the car, to the next village where there is a little bigger market or something, there's always people that are staring because it might be the first time they've seen me. And so, some days, most days it doesn't bother me. Most days, whatever, I just ignore it. Every once in a while I get a little frustrated. Sometimes it's disappointing to think that no matter how many years I live here, no matter how well I speak Hindi, um, I will still always be an outsider because I look like an outsider. So that's kind of hard sometimes to realize I'll never really fit in, I'll never blend in. Um, but there are good things to that too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I get special treatment because of who I am. And so, you have to take the things that are frustrating with the good things and just realize it is what it is, and you know,
But do
say,
you
oh well,
can you just go out alone, or because I know even in some big cities, it's kind of dangerous for a woman to go alone
I
or
go out for walks.
not to
Yeah, I
let.
go out for walks. I take my kids for walks. Even before I had children, I would just go out and, walk around sometimes. I don't ever feel in danger there. Maybe I'm naive, but um, I'm also a fairly, independent. The fact that I, moved across the world and live in another country tells you something that I think most foreigners that move across the world have some sort of independence and what's the word I'm looking for? Just a sense of self that gives some sort of confidence to be willing to move somewhere new. And so, and I'm tall. I'm a 5'8", so here I'm pretty much a giant. So I think that also gives me some confidence that I feel like I could pretty much overpower almost anybody that came.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't feel scared when I go out and about. I enjoy it. Yeah.
yeah, and I think I don't know. I went to the villages, but I kind of what I like there. I like that it's much more clean air to compare to big cities. At least you can breathe, because in big cities, I don't like Delhi, for example, for that, because when you go there, it's like I start coughing. Personally, I don't know why, but I can't stand this pollution. And I think from that point of view, it's much nicer to live in the village. Yeah, at least maybe you have your own some vegetables, fruits, and it's much better than in big cities. So I think.
Yeah, we have a little area in the behind our house where sometimes I grow our own dhania, I guess we call it cilantro, and different little herbs and vegetables and things, tomatoes, and in a little area. Have some plants, and that's nice to get to have the area and the space to do that.
And okay, let me ask Brandy, how is life in Arisa? What do you like the most there? Which pros do you see for yourself?
Yeah, so life in Orissa. The biggest city is Bhubaneswar, and it's not that big. We just got a Starbucks like 3 months ago, and I was super excited, but it's still like 2 kilometers away. So I made my husband like drive me on the scooter. So I refuse to drive on scooter. So driving a scooter here is like you have to kind of say a prayer and hope for the best. It terrifies me. That being said, I'll drive a car here. sometimes I close my eyes while driving just because those giant buses like come out of nowhere. Like not literally close my eyes, but it's just like one of those things. Like you have to hope they're gonna continue the flow of traffic, even though you're not quite sure what the flow of traffic is. Another pro would be, you know, growing up, I never was close to my family. I was close to my dad, but he passed away, and then I kind of like moved away from my mom. I've lived alone for a long time. So coming here, it's been really interesting to get closer to family while simultaneously trying to push them away because they get on my nerves because they're always like, who, what, where, when. So it's like this really cool adjustment of like learning to have a family and how to interact with them and being able to like trust them and like build those relationships that you didn't know you wanted until you like kind of get a taste for it, and then you're like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. Other pros are like the vegetables in India compared to like New York, like it's night and day. Like you can eat fresh vegetables here and you feel like you're healthy. In New York, I eat a vegetable, it doesn't taste like a tomato, it won't taste like a cucumber. It's like this off-brand grocery store chemical induced vegetable. And it's just really nice because, you know, things are slower here. I have to like walk slow, talk slow, and every time I go back to New York, I have to remember to walk fast and talk fast and do everything fast. So you really actually get to appreciate life in India. And in the United States, you don't always get to do that depending on what part you're from. The cons are you have to be willing to share every part of your life with everybody. At least in my family, they're very much so all intertwined. We live together, we work together, we talk together, we go out together. So it's like you have to have the boundaries to say no. And especially as a woman, I don't think women are used to saying no in India. So when I say no,
They
sometimes
don't know about boundaries.
yeah, and sometimes I come off as really aggressive, like, why are you saying no all the time? And it's not my intent to be aggressive, but it's like, you have to keep reminding them that we come from a different part of the world where if you say no or if you don't want to do something, it's okay. But here it's like, well, your family's doing it, so you need to do it. And that would be the biggest struggle for me because like I've always been the person that goes out, does what I want, when I want, how I want. And only then like I go and check in with other people. So other than that, weather-wise, it's hot, but I like the heat as long as there's air conditioning at some point in time. And then the power cuts, we lost power today right before the interview. So yeah, it's always fun, but it's part of life. Like you adjust in ways you didn't know you were able to, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's true. And what about language? If you learn
Language.
some language and you prefer speak English, is it enough? People speak English in that place where you live.
So I'm learning Hindi. My husband and Orissa, they speak Oriya, and it's a lot different than Hindi. So some words like I can understand like what they are in Oriya, but then I'm trying to learn Hindi and I confuse the two. But other than that, I speak 90% of the time English or 99% of the time English. And like my little nieces and nephews, they understand me in English and they're like learning English faster than the family is. So it's always really funny, but yeah, in progress.
Yeah, and may I ask, do you live together with your parents and all? I would like to ask all of you. Yes,
Yep.
you live together with them. And how difficult it is for you? I know for many girls it's a big challenge and they prefer to live separately because it's difficult. It's like different generation. There can be like misunderstanding, and of course you are from two different cultures. So is it difficult for you? Maybe it's not a problem.
Sometimes it's difficult. It goes back to those boundaries. Like, what are my expectations of like as a woman? What am I willing to do? I don't feel like a woman should be the sole person cleaning, cooking, and doing all the household chores. My mother-in-law would definitely disagree with me. So we kind of meet in the middle. It just varies by day for me, honestly. But we get along and we're adjusting and learning like where we're comfortable and what our boundaries are. So it's good.
And what about like food preferences? Can you cook something different for yourself? Like I don't know if your parents-in-law are they vegetarian or not, because sometimes it can be also a problem for a girl who is non-veg and you are living, for example, in a veg family, so you can't cook anything. How is it in your family?
So I can cook whatever I want. We do have like days where we eat vegetarian only. So Monday and Thursday is like all vegetarian. And then the rest of the week, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they don't eat non-veg on like Tuesdays and they don't eat non-veg on Saturdays, but I eat non-veg on those days. So I just go and I cook and then I clean up so that they're not mixing like my non-veg with their vegetarian. So it's an open kitchen. It's nice. We're very good at sharing in that context.
What about you girls? Do you live together or separately from your parents-in-law?
I actually lost both my in-laws, mother and father-in-law, since being married. My father-in-law died this year in March, and my mother-in-law in 2019. So now they're not, but they were with us before. And I'm thankful I got the chance to learn all my Indian cooking I've learned from my mother-in-law. I learned a lot from her. But both of them were vegetarian, no eggs even or anything. And so my husband loves non-veg. So they were always very lenient. I never felt pressured by them. I mean, there was times that I knew what they might want or wish about something cultural. Like I knew my mother-in-law would always enjoy if I would wear bangles or a bindi or those sorts of things. And when I dress up to go to a wedding, I make sure I do. But she was never forceful. She would just do things like she would buy me bangles and give them to me as a gift, or she would, whenever I did remember to wear them, she would let me know that, oh, how beautiful they look. But they were very understanding of the fact that I was from America and not Indian. But yeah, there was also difficult times, coming from a culture like America where we're used to privacy and moving into a household, especially directly like after marriage with my in-laws. And at the time, the very beginning, for the first 6 months, one of my sister-in-laws too, that was not an easy adjustment. And it's learning to try to figure out what the boundaries are and what I need to actually compromise in as well. What's really important and what is just habits that really aren't necessary, and things like that.
And for your kids, for example, if you want to cook something non-veg, can you do that, or it's like very strict?
And now it's just us, just me and my husband and the kids, because both of them have passed away now in the last couple of years, and so now it's completely anything goes, but even before I could cook non-veg in the kitchen if I wanted to. You just had to be careful not to mix it.
Yeah. Audrey, what about you? Do you live?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not living with my in-laws. Yeah, they are nearby. Actually, they are just very close to us. But that's a personal choice. We could have combined, but we wanted her privacy and peace of mind. If I should yeah. Yeah, talking about boundaries, it's very difficult because I feel that Indians in families, they don't know about boundaries actually. And if you want to set boundaries, it can be they can take it as an offense actually, quite easily. So that's not easy. You have really to be careful the way you talk to them and how you approach them with that. But overall, they are very open-minded. So it was clear since the beginning that it will be like this, and but they told us, if you don't want to combine, at least be close physically. Don't be like 100 kilometers away like this. If we need each other, we can help each other. So that was fine, but yeah, personally, me, I will not be able to live combined like this. It's I don't know. Every family is, are different, right? But I think that I need too much my freedom and my peace of mind. It's really important, and there are some stuff also that I'm not quite able to adjust still. Like you were talking about women, and that I don't know where is where is the woman in the Indian society, in the family, but seeing my mother-in-law like not able to say whatever she wants sometimes, or feeling frustrated, or even saying to me like I'm feeding the dogs, the stray dogs. I'm going by myself. I'm asking her a simple thing: do you want to come with me? No, people will look at me. They will say something. That's difficult for me. I am like, why do you care so much about what people will say about you? That's really frustrating me. So many things like this, and obviously she was raised like this. This is the education. So I can't blame her, even if I am trying I can't change her, obviously. I can change her, but I'm trying to open her mind on her mindset about it. But yeah, that's quite difficult to see how I can be free myself and how she's not. And this is causing so much frustration in me that just being combined, I will will be like 24 hours by 7 frustrated. This is yeah, this I and also yeah, I don't know about you being combined, but I know that Indians are very loud, and I like to be in a quiet environment. Yeah. We agree on that. India is already loud by itself, right? When you hear the honking, the tuk-tuks, all right. So if I can bring peace at my home inside, that's good. Yeah, I don't need to add. So yeah, for that. Yeah, overall, no, but I don't have to complain about them. They are very kind. They are very open-minded. They talk English, so we can talk properly between each other. That's fine. So yeah, I think I replied to your question.
And I'm
We are not combined.
all of you, what type of clothes do you prefer to wear in India? Do you prefer traditional Indian clothes, or maybe you can wear Western clothes and you feel more comfortable? I think if I talk about myself, I prefer traditional clothes because I get less attention maybe, and I feel more comfortable, especially in summer when it's too hot, and it's nice to wear something made of cotton rather than jeans or something like that. What about you? This question is for all of you, so anyone can start first.
In the summer when it's hot, I definitely don't want to wear jeans. It's so hot. I'm like, please, traditional clothes with the loose flowing pants, or anything to keep cool. Saris are very hot. You're wrapping like layers of fabric around you, so I wear them when I have to go to some program or some wedding. But a sari is for me like not for the summer. In the winter though, when it's cooler, I put jeans on when I'm at home or when I'm in the city. But traditional suit when I go anywhere.
Yeah, I think Brandy is, I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Yeah,
Losing.
I think it's stuck.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, now now she's gone. That's what I thought, because it happened sometime where, and she was saying that it's raining very hard at her place, so maybe there are some disturbance. I don't know. I will try to connect her again. Just a second. Okay. Let's see. Okay, what about you, Audrey? Which clothes do you prefer?
Yeah, the clothes. I'm wearing both, but I'm trying to be respectful as per Indian standards, if you say so. I will not wear something that can be that can shock. I can say that. But yeah, overall, it's like I told you in the live, the first live we had together. I'm wearing, you know, mostly daily. It's like a curti, and for me, I don't mind. I'm not bothered by the jeans, so I'm wearing a jean and a curti most of the time. I like both. Uh, but what I like in the Indian clothes is like it's very colorful. If I may talk about France, it's I know that for example when you go out, mostly it's black. Black is the you know it's like a corporate. Yeah, it's so I know that since I am in India, I'm very colorful. So yeah, this is the positive thing. Me, I never tried sari. I find it beautiful on others, but I don't know. I think I would feel ridiculous. I don't know. It's maybe a wrong idea, but or maybe you know sometimes feeling like it's like cultural appropriation. I don't know. It's hard, you know, to balance between this, like being respectful and like having people saying it's cultural appropriation. I tried lehenga for occasions, but yeah, most of the time it's a jean and curti.
Yeah, I think it's most comfortable clothes. For me, jeans are too hot. I can't handle them. If it's plus 45 outside, I prefer something like leggings maybe, or I don't know, or some
Yeah,
sandals. It's nice.
yeah, but no one is going out when it's 45. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go out when it's 45. At least I'm waiting, you know, few hours. It's like the Indian, you know. If you have to go out, yeah, it's like it's necessary. But most of the time, you after 11, 12, you wait like 4, 5. You don't go out in.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
may be me who is very extreme when I go to India. I just come out sometimes in
yeah,
the afternoon and it can be very hot, but so it's kind of
yeah.
nice to dress like that. And you, Brady, what type of clothes do you prefer to wear in India?
You know, I like a mixture. I always feel comfortable in Western clothes, but summertime and jeans don't go together. Like they literally don't go on. It's way too hot. So I'll wear. I mean, on a given day, I like to go to the gym, so I'll wear workout clothes. When I'm going out to like shopping or whatever, I'll wear leggings and a dress or kurta. Um, if it's a festival, like I'll ask my mother-in-law to help me with sari. I don't feel comfortable in lehenga. I don't like showing my stomach, which I know you show your stomach in sari, but in my head it's different because like kind of are covered. But otherwise, I love the ethnic clothes, like the beauty of them. Like you don't get that type of beauty in other types of clothes. I feel like. Of course, my mother-in-law prefers me to wear ethnic. So when I'm feeling feisty, I put on Western just to kind of build up that feistiness. But I mean, it's all about comfort. Like if you're comfortable in jeans and a t-shirt, which is what I grew up wearing, like it's like when you're homesick or whatever, you put that on because it kind of relieves that homesickness. Otherwise, like give me a colorful kurti and I'll wear it and like I'll be happy. But I'm the opposite. Like if I wear ethnic clothes, I feel like I draw more attention than if I'm wearing just like a Western clothes, which I still draw attention. But you know, it's like people are more willing to ask you questions if you're wearing the ethnic clothes because they're like, oh, now I can approach you. So just my perspective.
And one more question I would like to ask all of you. Do you wear any traditional, let's say, something like what married women have to wear? Like, do you put sindoor every day? Do you wear Mangal Sutra? Do you like bangles or some rings on the feet? Sometimes you have to, or like all married women, they have to wear that. Do you wear all this on daily basis? Yeah. No.
I wear it every day. I wear it in the U.S. too. So when I go to the U.S., the most common question people ask me is my head bleeding because of the symbol? But yeah, I wear bangles, I wear the anklets, I wear the toe rings, I wear the sindoor, I wear bindis sometimes, but not always. And then I wear the Mangalsutra.
I wear bangles sometimes. Toe rings. I have toe rings on all the time. My anklet actually broke this week, so those aren't on right now. But normally I have them on all the time. But bindi, like when I'm dressing up for a wedding or going to a party. And I usually have my necklace, which actually was my mother-in-law's,
Yeah.
earrings and nose ring, but not the sindoor. Oh, I lost her again.
Yeah, I think she has some problems with the connection because she's not at home. She said she went somewhere. So I don't know. Yeah, and you, Audrey, do you have?
Yeah, just the bangles.
Yeah. No Mangalsutra, no sindoor.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
But again, it's personal. It's personal. It's my point of view. Me, I feel very uncomfortable. I feel really like culture appropriation, but I don't feel myself. It's not me.
When I'm in the village, women are constantly telling me, you need to put bangles on. You need to wear a bindi. You would look so good. Wear it every day.
Yeah, this I'm
Oh, I'm so
agree,
glad in the village. It's very, like, everybody there is so happy when I do. And like, they tell me all the time when I don't have it that I need to put it on. But I've chosen some things. Like for me, the sindoor is more than I'm willing to do every day. And I don't want to do it one day and then, like, I don't want to have it be hit or miss. I feel like that's one of those things that if you do it, it's good to do it all the time. And so I've kind of chosen just to not do that. But other things like the jewelry, it's kind of fun right now. We'll see,
No, I like the typical jewelry, like the traditional jewelry, the bangles especially. I like this. I have also the nose ring, but something that is for me like more like typically like for the Indian wife, for me it's too much on me.
Yeah. And I think that's good. Everybody has to decide for themselves. I think they shouldn't be pressured by others.
And also, if I was doing it, I think that it will be like crazy attention. It will be too much already. I don't know you when you go outside if you attract a lot of people, but for me it's already like this. So if I was doing this, I feel that it will be even more. So I prefer just be like this, being simple. I think we are just 3. She's not coming back.
Somehow I'm getting a message when I try to connect you that only 3 people can participate in this live. I don't understand why. Because we were 4 and I'm trying to connect you, but somehow, I don't know.
I'm probably going to need to go soon to take care of the kids soon. So if you want to invite her back in and kick me out, I'm willing.
Yeah, because we are not going to talk for a long time. So it's supposed, I told you that it won't take so long. So I just don't know what happened. Maybe she had some problems because now I can add her now. Something was, but what I wanted to ask you one question because we were talking about our in-laws and there was a question which I received and let me see. There was something about it. Yes. How do you handle conflicts with your parents-in-law? If you have conflicts with them, I don't know. So the person assumes that everyone should have conflicts. So how do you handle them?
One thing I've noticed here is that it's very rare to be very direct. Like in America, if you have conflict with someone, you're usually going to talk to that person about it directly. But here, things are a lot more like indirect, going through other people, going through mediators. And so anytime there would be kind of a conflict of something between like what my in-laws thought or what I thought, usually my husband was kind of the mediator. They never really would address me directly. I would find out through him that I had done something that probably shouldn't have been done.
That's so
and he would be the one to let
frustrating.
me know. And so then I, it's, and then also then if anybody needed to be talked to, then I would usually not address them. It would be, talking to him about it, and if anything more needed to be said, he would usually be a one to address the other people, whoever it was that had been offended, or it was not normally directly one-on-one with me.
Mhm. And you? How do you handle?
I feel the same. I feel for you. It's the same. It's the same. Is that you can be direct. They don't used to, and it's like they get offended a lot. And rightly, it's not easy to have like a honest conversation, communication. I feel. But I am someone very, straightforward, and talking about the conflict that created a lot of conflict actually, because I'm too much direct, and maybe too much honest for them. Uh, I feel that in India, even if there is a saying is that can mean yes, can mean no, can mean anything. This,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
So I learned that no, after the conflict, now I'm doing like this, so they can understand whatever they want. It's good communication. That's all.
Yeah, it's
No,
good
but yeah, that's the point. The communication, it's that's mostly about that, the conflict. It's not because when their son, married a foreigner, obviously you have to adjust from both sides. So it's not conflict about how I'm living, and how they are living, because we are all adjusting somehow. We are all agree on this point. No, it's more about little things like this, because the way of communication is not the same. So yeah, you just learn to do that. That's all.
Yeah. I was just telling somebody today that it's kind of humorous. You have to take it humorous so that you don't get mad. But here, people, you tell them something, and they'll yeah, but then they'll go and do whatever they actually think is best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Somehow I can't add Brandy because I keep getting this message. So only 3 people can be in the chat. So I don't know. Maybe I can add her later. So just for a little bit. Yeah, but I
If she is watching the live, she can also ask you, send you a request to join.
yeah, I'm getting message that she was unable to join. I don't know. She didn't send me any requests, but I see 2 Indian guys send me requests, so maybe because of them I can't add you. But I don't want to add them, yeah.
Well, like
Um,
I said, if you'd like to be able to hear any more of her responses, I can step out and let her come in
So
here
I
for
would
you too.
like still to hear which point do you see of life in India, because we were talking about good things, but of course there are some difficulties
yeah,
you might face.
because
Yes, maybe we can just talk about that and then I will see if we can
uh,
connect her.
should I start?
Yes, you can read them. All of them.
That's the sensitive part. All right, so the hot summer, the humidity. But I think for even for Indians themselves, anyhow, it's hard for them. So you can guess for a foreigner, the summer it's killing. The humidity, it's killing me. Yeah, frequent power cuts, obviously. For me, the noise, it's too noisy. It can be very chaotic sometimes, the life in India. The pollution in big cities due to the huge traffics. The filthiness of the streets, all the garbage and so on. All right. I never encountered any bad things, happening, during all my almost 10 years. But I will say overall safety for women. All right, traffic, no rules. So I think that once you can drive in India, you can drive anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I
Uh,
think I'll never be able to drive in India. Never.
yeah, I think you have to be brave, actually. Um, what I wrote. Yeah, the road system. What else? I find also that there is no education about the environment if we are talking about garbage and the filthiness of the streets. I see, families and overall cleaning inside their house, in front of their house. I'm talking in cities. I don't know about the villages, but there is no education about throwing the garbage just in front of your house. It's like an open area and it's like full of garbage. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can clean your house in front of your house, but you can throw your garbage just like a few meters away. What else? Quite shocking also as a foreigner is that most of the time I saw no common sense about the priority in the traffic when there is an ambulance. For example, in France, when there is an ambulance, the cars, they are pushing all on one side to let the ambulance going, right?
Yeah.
In India, they are letting the ambulance stuck in the middle of the traffic. So if there is someone inside, then good luck. What else would did I write? If I compare to France, I find that the education, okay, there is a free education, but it's a cheap education coming from the governmental school. And if you want to go to private, it can be very, very expensive. The cons, all right, the spicy food. Although you can say the chili because spices is not properly correct, but everything is very spicy. And for me, there is an incorrect meaning of secularism. This is what I think overall. That's all what I wrote. If you have anything else to say.
So we're going through the cons, the hard check, the challenges of living here. Yeah. One thing for me is that in the US, pretty much everybody has a 2-day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but here it's like Sunday is the only day off. And that's hard because it's I don't know, coming from being used to 2 days, a day to kind of relax, finally get out of it, and then, really get into relaxing. Otherwise, when you only get 1 day off a week, anything that you've been pushing to the side because you're busy with work has to be done on that day off. And so it's not really a day of relaxation. It's a day of trying to get all the extra little busy things done that I wasn't able to do during the work week. And so I feel, bad, especially for day laborers and everything who work 6 days a week. Sunday, the day off, would be the day that they have to, do anything with the bank or do anything with any other little things that they haven't been able to do. And I feel like people don't know how to really, they know how to take rest throughout the day, but they don't know how to really, just really relax from life. That's
my husband is working, for an American company, so he has Saturday and Sunday. That's I know. But most of the time, I'm agreed. This is only 1 day, Sunday. So I see my father-in-law that is working in international hospital is only having the Sunday. That's I don't know how he's doing.
Yeah, it's not enough.
My husband is a manager of a school, and so he, they go to school even on Saturdays, and I'm just like, those poor kids. But that's what it's used to here. And I think one thing that's also hard, not for me personally, because I don't go to school, but to see that the school system here is so focused on how people perform in exams and tests. and so there's so much pressure to study, study, study,
Yeah,
and do well
yeah,
on
yeah.
exams. And that's like, I wish there was more just the enjoyment of learning, get people interested to learn and enjoy being in a
It's
class.
more competitive, you mean to say? It's like competition.
It's all competition just for the exams. And, you know,
Yeah.
some people don't perform well on exams, you know, but they could do well if it were just based on other projects or writing or different things throughout the, you know, so that's kind of something is hard to watch. I think also, let's see, trying to look at my little list here. Hard to find American foods where I'm out in the village. You know, there's paneer, but other than that, I don't get any cheese. So that cuts out of a lot of American food. Things even like things like celery and lettuce are hard to come by. You know, you don't really find those. So typical American style salads or something are not easy. Um, and you're never alone. I'm an introvert and I like to have some alone time sometimes just to, you know, regenerate my energy and stuff. And that's really hard to come by here. Even in our own house, anytime between, you know, 6:30 or 7 in the morning until 10:30 or 11 at night, anybody at any time could walk through our door without knocking. And I love that and I hate that.
This is a big concept. That in India, this is the first thing that I stopped straight away. People entering in the house, ringing at any time, and that's no. It was a big no. It was like, do they have a phone? Do they own a phone? They don't know to call before. No. This is
It's been that's been one of the real most trying things for me. And you know, it's hard because trying to put up boundaries didn't work because one, because of the village community mindset, but also because of the fact of how many individuals were living in our house, that it wasn't really, you know, it wasn't very plausible in my situation. And so I, you know, am learning to deal with it and still miss some, you know, American sense of privacy, but I've also been trying to learn to enjoy the joys of just having a community that can come, because the fact that they can come over anytime, that also means that I can show up on their doorstep anytime, and that can be nice.
Yeah. And let me ask you, maybe, I don't want to keep you here for long. Yeah, I just want to ask you, and then I can let you go. Maybe I can connect Brandy. I don't know what is happening. So I would like to ask you, what do you really miss the most about your country? Like something, I don't know. It can be many things. What you miss the most, and also,
I, I
do you see your future in India, or would you like still go back to USA after some time?
Other than people, family and friends, I think the thing I miss most is the sense of freedom that women have in the States, freedom and independence. I really miss that because even though I get a lot of freedom within my family and my husband, you know, he even encourages me to drive. He wants me to drive the car. It's a lot harder here. I haven't got the nerves up to drive yet here. And so, especially living in the village, I don't have a lot of freedom to just go anywhere other than where my feet can take me.
Yeah.
And so miss the just the independence of, oh, I'm out of milk. Let's go to the store and get milk, or, you know, whatever. I have to depend on other people to do those small things for me. And that's, you know, I miss that. Whenever I get a chance to go back to the States, I enjoy just the, you know, oh, like, I'm just going to go out and drive and do this myself and go here and do that. And so, you know, I tell myself I'm going to learn someday, and I'm, you know, I still have many years ahead of me, you know, Lord willing. And so I expect that I will eventually get up the nerves to drive more and continue to grow in my independence here and capabilities. And then, hold on, let me think, what was the second question? Oh, my future in India. Yes, for right now, we see the future here because, well, for one, my husband has never been able to go to the States at all. He's tried 7 times for a tourist visa and has been denied every time. We don't plan to move there because his job and his family are here. What he, you know, we're provided, our family is provided for by his income. I don't earn any income myself. And so it's all on his job as working for the school. And so if you were to go to the States, we would have to really be, you know, we don't know what we would do to. And so we're not trying to move there. We're not trying to immigrate there. We just want to have him visit, and it hasn't been able to happen. My wish that someday I tell myself maybe I should try to somehow start a petition for all the foreign wives that America should open a third type of visa, because right now they have two options. Either you want to move there or you want to just be a tourist, and they don't have a special option for spouses of Americans.
Yeah. But is
And
it
so, like here,
to get? Is it so difficult for your husband to get visa based that he's married to American? I heard that it's very
it's difficult because he's married to me and he's not trying to live there. They don't believe him. They say, why don't you try for an immigrant visa? And we say, well, because we don't meet the criteria. We're not trying to live there. We don't have a job to prove that we can support ourselves there. We don't want to move there. And so because of that, we have to apply for the tourist visa. But when we apply for a tourist visa, they don't believe us. And they say, look, you're married to an American. You're just going to go and stay there. You're not going to come back. So we're kind of stuck in this catch-22 of they don't believe us when we try to go as a tourist, when we say we just want to visit my family, and yet we don't meet the criteria to go for the other type of spousal visa that says you want to live there. So I'm so thankful that India has the OCI card that allows spouses, no matter where they want to live, to have the freedom to come and go as they do.
But do you have a chance to visit America? How often do you go there? Or you didn't go at all in all these years?
I've been married almost, 5.5 years now I've been married. And since I've been married, I've been back 3 times.
3 times.
Three
So
times.
your husband could never go to visit your family and to see where you live there.
Yeah, my parents are hoping to come when the weather cools off here in about November. Maybe they'll come and visit. I got to go a year ago. I was there with my kids, but my husband has never got to go see where I live, grew up. He's only met my parents and my brothers and one sister-in-law when they came to like visit wedding time and stuff. But since then, he's never seen my brothers, never met my nieces and nephews.
That's really sad. I really hope that it will be possible to your husband to see where you live. Yeah, it's not fair. Really. It's not fair for intercultural couples. I think they have to struggle a lot, especially in America and Australia. I think it's very difficult to move. It can take years sometimes, yeah, for people to be together. Yeah, that's so I think you have to go, or you still have time.
Yes. If I want my husband and my kids to all be in one piece.
Yes. Thank you. I would like
Thank you so much.
For joining us today. It was really nice to listen to you, to listen to your experience, because it's totally different. I know that not all foreigner wives would agree to live in a small place in the village or even small town. For some girls, it's not even possible. But I think you are very brave, yeah, and I wish you all the best, especially with all this documentation, so your husband can finally visit you, or maybe you can even live in USA for some time, and I don't know, like half a year in USA and half a year in India. I think it's the best option. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time. Yes, thank you. See you again, I hope.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let me try with the other girl. If she joined, just ask you quickly, and then because I don't know, it says that I can invite only 3 people. I don't know how is it possible. I think she's still online. Let's see. Because I got a lot of messages from, not messages, the requests from Indian guys. So I didn't connect them because it would be strange, I think. Yes, to connect them. If I can connect her, or then I will ask you. You can tell about yourself what I was asking the other girl. Let me see. Somehow she's not.
Yeah,
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 somehow.
we are planning to stay in India, but like I told you, if there is any opportunities in the future, so we may move.
Yeah, and again, I would like to ask you, what do you miss the most about France? Of course, you miss parents, you miss your friends. This is very interesting, but something specific, what you don't find in India from your country.
Yeah, some French food, definitely. Yeah, my family and my friends. But yeah, overall, yeah, that's just this principally: the food, the family, the friends.
Yeah. So food, yeah. I can imagine, yes. And what about I think in France it's much easier to travel around, for example. It's not the same in India, or do you get a chance just to travel to go somewhere wherever you want, different places? Because India is huge.
I didn't hear because it was cutting. What did you ask?
No, I was asking you that I think in France it's much more easier to travel around. For example, you can just go wherever you want. I think it's not the same in India, or you get a chance to travel often there.
Yeah, anyways, with the COVID, no one could travel anywhere. So even it was quite difficult. But overall, yeah, if you take apart this quarantine and COVID time, me, I find it easy to travel around. So when you can drive, a bike or a car, so you can also take the train. With trains, you can go anywhere. Flights also, it's very easy. Big cities are really well connected with the flights.
Yes.
So yeah, and there are between big cities direct flights. So that's very interesting. Uh, yeah, no difficulty to move around. No.
So, any question, guys, girls, who are watching us? Let me see who is watching us actually. Yeah, I see people are joining. Yes. So, I hope you won't mind if we just meet again sometime and talk about something else.
Yeah, sure.
If you have any ideas, maybe it's
Yeah,
not,
I will let you know. Definitely.
yes, it's not necessary that it should be only about India. It can be something else. Why not? It can be
Yeah.
about our country. Yeah, it says again that she is unable to join. Just now again, I got a message. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I can share about France if people they have question about France or anything.
How to find French girl.
No, not this one.
This would be the most popular question. Yes, be ready for that. Yes, I can also talk. I can talk about pros and cons of life in Netherlands, in Belgium, according to me. Yes, maybe you can share about France the same, because for sure you can say what you like about your country. If there is something you don't like, yeah. So, guys and girls, if you like to know something, maybe you can give us a hint what we can talk about next time. Yes. No, no questions. Yeah. Okay, I will also let you go. Thanks a lot and hope to see you again. Have a lovely evening and we will keep in touch.
Take care of yourself.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care.